welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you my take on this pinecone looking pumpkin that I found on the Target website. The one on the left is mine. The one on the right is from Target. You could get two at Target for $55. And the one that I made on the left probably cost right around $5, maybe even less. So anyway, thought you may enjoy it. Stay tuned and I will show you how to make it. Alrighty, y'all, let us get started. So first off, what you're going to need, one of these foam pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some pine cones. These came out of my yard last year. They've already been cleaned and soaked and dried, and now they have no little critters in them. Now you're also going to need a roll of burlap. That burlap came from Walmart. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the tag off. Someone referred to something the other day. They're like, you can leave the tag on and look like Minnie Pearl. Howdy! I'm going to take the top off. And now we have a basic naked pumpkin. Now these little grooves here, this is what I'm going to use for a measurement. And what I'm going to do, because the one that I showed at the beginning of the video from Target, I wasn't too fond of how it was like just straight down. I like dimensions, so I'm not going to sand this down or carve it down or anything. I'm just going to take the pieces of pine cone and glue it down. So I have my hot glue gun over here, and what I did with the pine cone, let me see the one I was working with. You can either take your fingers and pop these off, or you could take a pair of scissors and cut them off. It's okay if you cut them off, because this is what a whole one looks like, and we're going to be taking that and cutting this tip off, so that you only have like a little flat piece that looks like that. You know, we're not going to need this whole entire thing. So if you don't want to pull them off, if you want to cut them off, that is absolutely fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, this thing is covered in glitter. I'm just going to decide which side I want to start on, and this looks as good a side as any. I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to put a blob right there. And I'm just going to stick it up here. Oh, no, I didn't want to start at the top. What am I doing? I don't know. Start down here at the bottom. I don't know why I put that up there at the top. Don't know. All right, so let's find another little piece. And I want to see how this looks without me actually going to the trouble of painting the pumpkin brown first. I mean, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to leave it like this. So now let's trim this. And then you just have to decide how far over you want to go. I'm thinking I may want to come over like at least this far, you know, so that you can actually have a good amount of your little pine cone pieces on there and the whole thing is not covered with burlap. So I'm trying to get these as even as possible. If you can't get them all that even, it ain't gonna be a big deal. All right, this one looks good, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to glue these on here. Now I'm going to work on this. It's probably going to take me a few minutes. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to bring it over a little bit more, and then I'm just going to glue another row on top of that and see what it looks like. So hold on 1 minute. Well, let's take a look at what I've done so far. You can see this is how many I have put on. Just a few rows, 4 rows, I guess. Because as I'm going up, they're staggering a little bit, and that's fine. Because you know what? Pine cones are not absolutely perfect, and I am really liking the way that this is coming out. I got glue on myself. Look at that. Yeah, if you can't find pine cones out in nature, of course, a lot of craft stores carry them. Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, even Walmart has them. You could use these cinnamon scented ones so that not only do you have something that is cute, but it also smells good. If you handle the cinnamon pine cones, wear gloves or something, because if you get that cinnamon oil on your hands, it is an irritant. So then if you get it in your eye, that ain't gonna be good. But anyway, this is what I'm looking at so far. And no, I didn't have to paint the pumpkin because, you know, absolutely none of that orange is showing through. So that's a good thing. So I'm just going to keep working on this all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four little ridges across is what I decided to do. So that much right there will be pine cone, and then the rest is going to be burlap. So I can't wait to see how this comes out. I'm going to go ahead and glue these on all the way up to the top, and I'll be back. Okie dokie, so let me show you what I did. I've got all of my little pine cone pieces on here, and I am pretty happy with how it came out. Now right here, this is sort of brown, and what I did is I took some brown acrylic paint, which it has not completely dried yet. See, it's still shiny. But I took some brown acrylic paint and I just painted just a little bit like away from the edge of the pine cone pieces here, because I'm getting ready to put on this burlap, and I've been playing with it, and the burlap, once it touches this, there's just a little bit of a gap. I mean, like if you got right down on it and looked at it, you know, you could see just a little bit of a gap, and I didn't want that there. But anyway, what I did with this burlap is I just measured from the very top of the pumpkin all the way around to its little bottom. Now you don't have to come all the way over to the center of the bottom if you don't want to, but you know, you want to have enough of it underneath here so that you won't see it from the outside. Now I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to overlap it a whole lot on the very bottom, because you know, if you keep overlapping on the bottom, it might make it wobbly and it's not really going to set up straight. So I took my piece of burlap and measured from the top all the way down to the bottom, and then I cut this piece in half this way so that I now have two pieces that are fairly narrow. I can't speak. Now I'm going to take those pieces and fold them in half so that none of the rough edges are going to show. Okay, all of the rough edges are going to be covered. You just take it and then fold it like this. I'm tripping over my glue gun cord. Okay, so let's put this up here at the top, and I want to bring it down just to the edge of the pine cone. And it's okay if this paint is wet. That doesn't really matter to me at the moment. Now I'm just placing this here and bringing it down. Now once this sets up and cools down, this is going to be a lot easier. But I'm just trying to show you what I'm going to do. Press that down. And we're going to bring it down, like I said, around the edge of the pine cones there. And then I'm going to glue it underneath. I'm going to put a little bit. It would be better to use a low temp glue gun for this, but I'm out of low temp glue sticks. So I'm having to use my high temp one. Just be very careful if you're using a high temp. Don't use a whole lot of the glue because you don't want it to eat through the foam of the pumpkin. So let's just hold that there. Okay, so now I have another strip here, which is fraying on me. Let's cut that. That looks okay on the bottom. So I'm going to take this other piece and fold it as well. And you want that folded edge to be facing you, facing the front. See, this is the folded edge facing here. And I'm going to have a little stalk that I'm going to glue to the top of this, okay? Okay, now let's hold this down. Can y'all see? Yeah, y'all can see. Like y'all can answer me, you know? I ask y'all questions all the time, like, can y'all see this? All right, so we'll press it down, press it down. Press it down. All right. Now we're just going to bring it around like this and then glue it to the bottom. So I'm going to do that and make sure this glue has set up. I'm going to cut a few more pieces of the burlap, and then we're going to start going around the pumpkin. Okay, so I have 4 total pieces put on here. Now for this right here, you're not going to see it looking at the pumpkin, but if you want to, you can paint this brown. I wouldn't put any more of these on here because it's going to be difficult to set up and be level. And we all need things to be level nowadays. You can either paint this brown, or you can take a piece of burlap and put right there, whatever you want to do. I might just paint that brown. But as you can see, this is how I'm overlapping the burlap pieces, okay? I just cut the pieces like I showed you, and I'm just going to overlap them around and around and around until I get all the way to the back. All right, so I'm just going to continue working on that, but I wanted to take a minute and show you what this part looks like. And I hope I'm getting close to the one that I saw online. So anyway, I'm going to do some more work and I'll be back. Alrighty, so all of my burlap is on here and that is pretty cute. Now right here on the bottom, it was leaning forward a little bit, okay? So I took some burlap, I just folded it up, and I put it like up and underneath there. You can't see it from the front when you're looking at it, believe me. So now looking back at the one from Target, theirs had some leaves on it, some fall leaves, and I'm going to use that, but I wanted a little bit more something on there. So I have these two little wooden pieces from the Dollar Tree, and I don't have yes, I do have a bag of them. Hold on. They come in a bag. I've got a big pegboard behind me where stuff hangs on. They come in bags like this, and I picked out two pieces because I want to glue them together to make a stalk, and I tried to find one that was cut at an angle. Let's see. Yeah, there we go, because I want the stalk to kind of go up and over, and these are relatively the same size. So I'm going to glue them together, just like that. All right, and then we're going to take this and we're going to glue it on top. Now, with all of this burlap piled up here, that did give us a lot of height. Right here is kind of flat, and then you have all of this height up top. And actually, it's going to work to our advantage because I have some of this Spanish moss here. I think what I want to do is I want to put some of this Spanish moss right around here, and then I will put some of those leaves in here. It's going to take me a minute to get that arranged. We're going to have the stalk glued right here, somewhere in here. And I think I'm going to like that a little bit better than the one that I saw from Target. So I'm going to put a little bit of this moss here. This came from Dollar Tree as well. I wanted a little bit of something extra. Instead of just putting the stalk on there, the stem, and then having some leaves, I'm like, eh. So I wanted this because it's rustic. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue. I was saying, don't worry about all this stuff up here, because you know what? You can decorate and decorate and decorate, and it is going to cover up everything. Spanish moss is wonderful. Spanish moss covers a lot of sins. You can cover everything with it. So by the time I'm done gluing on this moss and then gluing on some leaves, let's try to make this in some sort of a circle. Gluing on the moss and the leaves, I think it's really going to look good. Let's see. And the thing with this moss is, like, right now it's sticking out everywhere. Just go back in with your scissors and you can trim it away. See, this is the front, and then we're going to have this up here. And then I'm going to have the leaves stuck down in it. Give me some more of this stuff. Oh, the stuff just flew up and hit me in my face. That ain't cool. If I wasn't on camera, I'd hit you back. Now we need another glue stick. I think I've used 4 glue sticks in total on this sucker. I'm trying to do it where y'all can see. Okay, there's that. And I am going to trim this down. I'm not just going to let it sit there like all cattywampus and wop-sided. I will trim some of that. But first, I want to get everything on there so that I can see about what it's going to look like. All right, so feathers. I was getting ready to say, I've got my feathers here. Look at these beautiful fall feathers. Some have glitter and some don't. You know what? I don't think I want the kind with the glitter. I don't think. Might change my mind, but nah, I think this will look okay. Let's see how I want to do this. Probably just glue a few around like that. Might try to bend it up a little bit. So I'm saying, like, bend it up a little bit so that it's sticking up. And you can put like a little bit of glue right there. And then I'm going to take one of my old paint brushes here and just kind of fold it over and hold it so that when it does set up, that leaf is setting up like that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let me put a few more of the leaves on here. I'm going to play with this moss. Stand up. People are looking. I'm going to put some of the moss, put some more leaves. And then we're going to glue this stalk on, and it is going to be finished. I'll be back in one more minute. So I have the stalk on, stem, whatever you want to call it. I have some of this moss. I'm going to put more moss, I think. I have these leaves on here, and then I came across these little fall colored flowers that I had gotten from Dollar Tree. And I think I'm going to put just a few down in here. You know what? I'm going to have to trim them. That's what I'm going to have to do because they're a mite tall. First, I want to put them on there. I'm going to see if I even like the little darlings. I'm sorry, I didn't mean, I love you. I think that'll be okay. Put just a little dabby dab of glue. Very technical terms. If you don't know all these technical terms, you can't be a crafter. Dabby dab. Dabby dabs and big old blobs. Alright, so let's get us another one. Let's look around. I wish I had some more florals of some sort. I'll put 3 there. You know, the rule of odd numbers. Alright, that looks okay. So now I think maybe some more moss. It takes me forever to put flowers on something because I'm like, meh, some more of this, some more of that. Y'all know how I am. But anyway, this is what we have so far. But hanging around after the video, and I will put a photo showing you the full finished thing. All I'm doing now is just going to glue on more moss, maybe some more leaves. Don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this one. If you would, please give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.